We have a really interesting theory to be talking about tonight because this is obviously on Hcmc, as you guys will remember. But last week we looked at two very interesting things for Hcmc as a stock and as a company. These were the two new partnerships which Hcmc do have with two different brands, and I think that these definitely could play a large, role in Hcmc as a company growing going forwards. And in the Discord and actually in the comments as well on YouTube, a lot of people have been asking me what effect this might have for the company, so I thought in this quick video I will give some of my thoughts and opinions on it. If you guys do not know, we're going to be going over what these two new partnerships are in this video. Obviously, we're going to have a quick look at how the price has been moving, not that there is anything to report on apart from volume figures, which we will have a look at, and then we will get into the video. So again, if you may enjoy it around here, make sure to subscribe. We talk about this stock on a daily basis pretty much, or at least whenever there is something to talk about with Hcmc stock. Follow us on Twitter, we give updates on all sorts of things over there. It is at N2S Finance. Also, join us on Patreon, you can see that on your screen right now, and we also have a Discord which you can find down in the description. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this part of the video. It's boring and it is the same old story. This barcoding that we've been seeing all day, we've seen it for a long time now, and Hcmc is pretty much level between 0.001 and 1.2. But what we are seeing today is a volume figure of 1.49 billion, so it's not too bad. Volume is picking up, and again, it does show potentially good signs for this stock as people are still trading it, and it is still quite relevant, in the space of this stock and how it usually trades. But what we're here to talk about tonight is these two contracts and what these ultimately mean for Hcmc. So in depth in two other videos in the last week, we have actually, looked at these contracts in a lot of detail, but here we're going on to actually have a look at what they may mean for the company in general, because I think these could actually have a decent impact for Hcmc long term. And I'm hearing a lot of people talk about the fact that, Hcmc's price is not moving much. Will these contracts, or these partnerships rather, have any effect? Well, here come my personal thoughts. So obviously we've talked about this contract as I mentioned, but just to summarize in the title, it basically talks about how Hcmc announces an exclusive authorized filing agreement with ATG Pharma affiliate Six-Pack Solutions for Hcmc Q-Cup technology in Canada. So, long story short, because like I said, we have talked about this, so we're not going to do so much right now, but this is basically Hcmc working potentially in the cannabis industry. And we've spoken about Hcmc possibly in the cannabis industry many times in the past, but I think this really could be a step in the right direction. Because Hcmc, where we are right now with the company, yes, it is good, don't get me wrong, the products are useful, but, there is definitely a difference between cannabis and perhaps other things which people may smoke. And this is becoming extremely relevant when it comes to the figures that we are seeing. Let's have a look at what we are seeing down here, where we can have a look to see that in Canada, cannabis sales are expected to be 4 billion this year and rise to 5 billion next year. And that is a lot of money, $5 billion. And this says that with where Hcmc is right now, and obviously with this partnership, especially in the Canadian market, this could give Hcmc a potential major advantage in terms of capturing early market share. And you guys will know from other companies how useful it can be to get in there very early. Anyway, we can see down here that basically it talks about the Canadian figures again, and then it goes down to say down here, recent reports say that by 2022, the total annual cannabis sales will reach 28 billion in the US and 5 billion in Canada. So, if you add those numbers up together, Hcmc could be working in a really interesting industry. So from what I can tell right now, the cannabis sector is potentially only going to be in Canada, but going forwards, Hcmc's products could have the potential for cannabis usage in the United States. And again, this whole market space combined between the United States and Canada is worth over $30 billion, or at least is expected to be over $30 billion in the next year or two. And you know what, like they say, in Canada specifically, they could have an advantage by getting there early. I think this is a step in the right direction for Hcmc, and again, this is what one of our analysts basically on the Discord said, Dan, he said that people are starting to get the picture with HCMC. Dan, if you're watching, shout out to you. I do believe that is the case because, it's been a long time with HCMC. People initially were getting into this stock with a lawsuit, thinking that it's going to be, good stock to hold for that. And whilst that might still be true, let's also remember the fundamentals of this business. Yes, the lawsuit is a big catalyst. Yes, if they win it, it probably will have a massive effect. But ultimately, this is not a shell company. The revenue might not be the best at the moment, but this company has products, they sell products, and they are actually getting partnerships as time does go on. So I think now people are starting to focus back on the fundamentals of the business. I do think that really is a step in the right direction for people who want to invest in this company because yes, lawsuit could be good, but I think in that case, you'll be holding for a few years. I think HCMC is a hold for a few years anyway, but just where we stand, the lawsuit, whilst it is relevant, it should not be the forefront of people's decisions when they are investing in this stock. Going down here, we can see the second contract, which was published only 2 days before the one which I just talked about. And this one is HCMC announcing the launch of NUHI brand pre-filled Q-Cups in Colorado by the Health Center. So it's just getting their products in more and more places. And again, going back to what I said just a few moments ago, I think people might finally be starting to get where the business is going. I always go back to this line here, but it does tell you everything that you need to know. Business strategy down here, it talks about the 4 areas. The one which I'm focusing on in this video is seeking out new attractive business lines with the mission of healthy choices to add to its portfolio. Well, guess what? We have 2 partnerships in the past week, and we also have the potential to operate and expand on the 7 vape stores and 4 food stores as well. So basically, we saw an expansion on the vitamin store earlier this year with thevitaminstore.com. Now we are seeing an expansion actually on, those partnerships, and HCMC are sticking true to their word. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. 2 contracts in a week, 2 partnerships in a week is fantastic. I don't expect every week to be like that. Yes, we could see a 3rd one soon or a 4th one soon, but don't expect to be getting a new one every single week. But we need to look at the long-term picture. If you can't look at the long-term picture, HCMC, in my personal opinion, is not a stock for you. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but that is just my opinion. So yes, HCMC, I think people really are starting to get it now. This could be a big company. It's a penny stock right now. It is a risky company, don't get me wrong, but I think if we do hold this one out for long enough, potentially it could work in our favour. As always, it is a penny stock and it does carry quite a lot of risk with it, so please do remember that. But I think HCMC, yes, they are moving in the right direction, they are sticking true to their business strategy, and whilst there definitely are some holes in the business model, some areas which are not perfect, don't get me wrong, and we discussed all of them in the last video, whilst that is true, we are also seeing a potential improvement in the company as time does go on. So HCMC, would I call it a buy right now? Usually I would say yes, but for this one I would say yes and no. Not for everybody. If you can't hold for a long time, this company is certainly not for you. And if you can't hold for a long time, that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are definitely some decent swing trades or even day trades on the market out there, but HCMC isn't one of them. You're probably not going to see much movement in the next month, unless we do have some major catalyst. We're probably not going to see much movement for a while. So with all this good news, I cannot see too much of a movement in price. That's not a bad thing, but again, this is a certain case, in my opinion, where I think good things may come to those who wait. So if you're trying to get into HCMC now, I would not anticipate too much price movement for a while, but I don't think that is a bad thing. Again, I'm just trying to be honest with you guys, give my personal thoughts and opinions, and I do hope that I am wrong. I hope HCMC does pick up, and I hope it starts to rocket as soon as right now. But we need to look at the facts, guys. Whilst the company is good, there are some factors that we are still waiting on, and again, we are still waiting on the company to grow, which will take time. So yes, I think it could be a decent hold, a decent buy, for those of you who are willing to wait, but if you're not willing to wait, that's fine. I don't think this stock is for you. Just my thoughts and opinion, guys. I am not a financial advisor, but I will see you all again very soon for another video. But thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that, guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching. See you soon.